Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in today's video we are going to learn the concept of if-else if ladder. Okay, so basically this if-else if ladder is used when there are multiple conditions in action. Okay, so let's have a look that how do we use exactly the if-else loop or say if-else if ladder. Okay, so what happens is basically that first of all an if statement is written, and after that according to the conditions multiple else if statement are written, and after that an else statement is written. Okay, so what is the structure, how does it execute? So let's have a look. So basically first of all you need to write an if statement. If the condition in that if statement is true, then this particular if statement is going to be executed, and the remaining else if statement and the else statement is not going to be executed. Okay, now, if that particular condition is wrong, okay, then this if statement is not going to be executed, and the hold or say the execution level goes to the another statement, which is else if statement that is present in the if else if ladder. Okay, now in that again the condition is checked. Now, if that condition is true, then this particular else if statement would be executed, and the remaining else if statement as well as else statement won't be executed. Okay, so now consider that both the statements are true. That is condition 2 as well as condition 3 is true. Then what happens? So what happens basically is once the condition 2 is true, then the else if statement consisting of condition 2 gets executed, and the execution point gets out of the if that is if else if ladder. So once the condition is met, okay, that is the condition is true, then the power of execution is given to that condition, and that is given to that else if statement. And once that else if statement is executed, the execution moves out of the else if ladder. So nothing after the true condition is executed. Okay, now consider that condition 2 is also wrong, then the condition 3 is set. If the condition 3 is right, then this particular else if statement is executed, and then the or say execution moves out of the if else ladder. If none of the conditions are true, then the else statement is finally executed. Okay, that is, if all these conditions, consider that condition 1, condition 2, condition 3, none of the conditions are true. Okay, then the final statement that is executed is the else statement. Okay, so this is what if else if ladder means. So let's have a look. We will just write a program here. I will just write one more that is file. So I will just name it as if else if ladder. Okay, dot c, because I want it as a c file. So first of all I will just include my standard input output file. After that what I'm going to do is I will just begin with my int main program, and in that I will just write four statements. Okay, I will just write four statements, or say I will just declare four variables. Okay, and those variable are as follow. So first of all I will write int. After that I will write num1, or say, let's just write a, b and c, so that it's basically easy for us to get it. Okay, now in place of this a, b, c, c and d, you can just declare all the variables in one line also by doing writing this, that is a comma b comma c comma d, and just putting semicolon at the end. Okay, but for now we are declaring them separately. Now what I want is I want the user to input all the a, b, c and d things. Okay, so I will just write printf. Okay, enter a, and I will just put a colon here, and I will just write the next statement as scanf, because I want to take the input from the user, and as it is an integer variable we are just going to write percentage d as format specifier, and we are just going to use and sign and the variable name, okay, that we want to get from the user. Now I want to do this thing for at least four variables, therefore I am just going to copy and paste this particular statement for at least three more times. Okay, and I will just bring them in the same indentation, and I will just change the name of the variables in each print and scan statement. Okay, scanf statement. Now After that, what we want to look is, we want to look at the execution of if else if ladder. Okay, so what are we going to do in that is, we will write multiple if and else if conditions, and we will take the input from the user in such a way that all the conditions are checked. Okay, so let's have a look. So I will just write if statement here, and I will just write that if a is less than b. Okay, then I want to execute a statement that printf that a is a is less than b. Okay, and I will just put in semicolon. After that, I want one more condition to be checked, that is else if this condition is wrong, I want to check one more condition, and that condition is going to be if b is less than c. Okay, then I want to print that print, and it's basically printf, remember, and print b is less than c. Okay, other than it, I want one more else if statement. So else if, then I will just write if c is less than d. Then what I am going to print, I am going to print that printf c is less than d. Okay, now if any of this condition is true, then print any one of the thing. But if none of the condition is true, then I want to print something else, that is uh, the then I will just print that else block executed because none of if or else if statement were executed. Okay, and so this is what I want to be printed if none of the statement is executed, and I will just save the program, and at the end I will just write return 0. Okay, and because it's an integer function and it's not returning anything, so I will just write return 0. Now let's just build this program and run it. Okay, so I will just build this program. So the program is being built, and it will take some time. Okay, so there is an error here, that breakpoint 1, okay, that is in 8th line some error is found, printf enter a warning is basically given. I don't know what's the warning about. uh, let's just check. There is no warning. Okay, there is nothing wrong here that we have done. Printf enter okay, there is no problem. So let's just see what's happening exactly. Okay, so it's basically debug console we have opened, but it's the terminal here, so we will just write enter a here. So we are just going to write a as because we want to first give a output based on that a is less than b. Okay, so I will just write a as 2, b as 3, c as 4, and d as 5. Okay, now see what happens here is, what I want to make you understand here is that is, first of all, if statement is checked. In that if statement a is less than b. Okay, so as a is less than b, this particular statement is going to be executed, and what we get output here is that a is less than b. Now when you look at this particular program, you can also see that b is also less than c and c is also less than d. Okay, but as these two statements are present after the if statement, which is getting the value true from its condition, this two statement is not going to be executed at all, even after the condition in them present is true. Okay, so you need to remember that once a true condition is executed, that is once a statement that is present before the other statement is executed in if else if ladder, then the statement that is following it are not going to be executed. Okay, so this is the thing, so you need to remember this. Okay, now let me just run this program once again. Okay, So I'm just running this program. Okay, so and it's asking me the value of a. Now I will just enter the 3. Oh sorry, I will just enter 3, then 2, then 4 and 5. Okay, now what you can see here is b is less than c. Okay, now as this a is not less than b, this if statement is not executed, but b is less than c. You can see that 3 is less than 4. Therefore this particular statement is executed. Therefore, anything that is present after else if statement is not else if statement in which the true value is found from its condition is not going to be executed. Okay, so this else if statement having the condition c is less than d. Here you can see that c is less than d, but yet this statement is not executed. Why? Because the statement that is previously present before this else if statement is executed. So therefore the statement that is present in the else if ladder is not going to be executed after one of the following statement is executed. Okay, now we are just going to test it one more time in which none of the condition is true. So I will just run the program once again. Okay, so that else statement is running. So what I want is 3 uh, 3 as a, because a is less than b. Now b is less than c, but for that I need to enter c as 1. Okay, and c is less than d, so I will just enter -1. So you can see that as none of the condition is true, the else block is executed. Okay, the else block is executed. Why? Because none of the conditions that is written here, a is less than b, so 3 is not less than 2, b is less than c, so 2 is not less than 1, then c is less than d, therefore 1 is not less than -1. So all of the conditions here are false, therefore else statement is going to be executed. And once the else statement is executed, the that is execution part will move out of the if else ladder, and anything that is present after the else statement is going to be executed. Okay, so you can just see that block, that is block after if else ladder. Okay, so this is what the thing that is going to be executed after the uh, execution is existed from if else ladder. So I will just enter the same value, that is 3, then 2, then 1 and -1. Okay, so else block is executed because none of the if else statement is executed, and block after if else ladder is executed, it is coming in the same line because we have not given the /n function here. So I hope that you like this video. In next video we are going to see another form of conditional which is known as the switch statement, and that switch statement is basically very useful to us. And so I hope that you like this video. Do share it, do subscribe it, and stay connected to us. Thank you once again.